Warning, the following footage contains violence, and this is Melbourne the past few days. I believe a protester had their leg broken by one of the horses, and here's a man guilty of the crime of using a megaphone, and this is at the blockade around the building that had a conference, the IMARC, International Mining and Resources Conference, I'm pretty sure. And I just love it because everyone gets mad at protesters, especially the climate protesters, for getting in the way of traffic and making people's commute more difficult, but they were just going after a mining conference. It's like people that are guilty for part of the problem, and they're not really in the way of anything. Now, let's see what the Deputy Prime Minister has to say.
We've seen shots of the protesters outside this mining conference this morning. They don't have a point?
Absolutely disgraceful, and here's a tip for the national media. Don't give them so much publicity. I mean, that's what they crave. They absolutely want to have their Facebook and social media statuses updated by this sort of thing. I mean, mining and resources provides a lot of money, particularly for the welfare payments that a lot of those people are no doubt on. Don't give them the publicity. There's a tip.
I don't remember anybody coming out and saying that the people that went to the St Kilda rally were on the dole and trying to demonise them with that. Don't remember that happening. Alright, now I want to play a quick piece of footage of the Deputy Prime Minister during question time, and then you'll hear my counter argument to him.
And whether it comes to roads for mining industries, well, we're getting on and we're building those roads. And indeed, I was never so prouder when I was standing at Laverton, where the road out of Laverton ends, the bitumen ends 12 kilometres along the Outback Way. And a fellow who runs a mine there said, you know, this is going to benefit our mine to the tune of it takes 12 hours to drive from Laverton to my mine. And because the Liberals and Nationals are getting on and building the road, getting on and putting bitumen down, at long last, getting on and doing it, he said the other side probably, well, I don't know whether they ever would, but you blokes are doing it, so well done to you. That's going to save 9 hours on my trucks to get from here to there, and that is going to create productivity savings. He's going to be able to invest further in his mine.
Seems like the government and mining companies are pretty buddy-buddy. That may explain why militarised police were sent in to protect them. Anyways, so we're building roads for them, huh? Because whether they're on the dole or not, whether the protesters have a job or not, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say they're going to be buying shit one way or another, and they're going to be paying GST on something. So no matter who they are, they're going to be paying tax one way or another, and then we're using it to build roads for these mines, where in previous videos I've made, I've shown how in legislation they cut reasons to tax these companies. We'll lump them together for the argument's sake. Mining, drilling, resource rent tax. Don't see a need to tax companies for getting resources out of the ground on land, so they're probably not paying as much as you say into people's welfare. But in then saying that, people that have been on welfare are now being made to pay back money via the robo-debt. So eat shit, McCormack.
Sam, you okay? You okay? Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Put your back no way!
And you could tell they really stretched to try and say that these protesters were getting in the way of people's daily commute, because I remember reading somewhere, oh, they were jumping out on the road when the light went from red to green. Okay, so they're not on the road, they have to jump onto it. And my final note in saying that, where I live, I have my commute fucked with because of the tour down under. And that's a freaking bike race where if you're against this cause, at best, it's people standing up for what they believe in. And if you're with, then you understand people trying to save the planet. And yeah, alright. And then my final note. If anyone who's against the protesters for whatever fucking reason, at least just remember this. If this is how the police behave towards them for that protest, one day you could find a reason to take to the streets, and who's to say they won't do the same thing.